Good. Good evening, all of you.
Good evening.
Yeah, my name is Vincent Nandwa. I come from Western Kenya, Kakamega County to be specific. My constituency is Butere. So I'll give you a brief history about my journey, both spiritual and academic. And I hope it will encourage one or two people to also probably maybe apply them to their doings. So I was born in 1991, and I was told that I was the 20th born of my mother and father. So which means that my family, we were 20 siblings. Maisha tulikuwa watu 20, na mimi ndio last born. And then it happened that I started my school at a place called the Machakos Primary School. I did nursery for one term. Then I was transferred to a neighboring school called Lukoe, where I completed my nursery school. And then I was also transferred back to the first school, Mashere, to standard 1, where I continued with my primary education up to class 8. And I did my KCP exam in 2005 at Mashere Primary School. So when after the results, I got 310 marks out of 500, which was not too high, but the nature of the school and the environment, I was still the best student for that cohort. And so it meant that I qualified to go to secondary school. But then because for my family background, we are not able to raise money for second school. My mom decided to get some help from the then MP, who was the previous Kakamega governor, Wycliffe Oparanya. So we went to the MP's home to request for help, but unluckily, he said that my marks were too low. He couldn't support my second academic. So he advised me to go back to class 8 and repeat so that I can raise my marks, say to at least 380 out of 500, so that he can be able to support my second education. Because I understood where I came from and my parents couldn't afford the money to take me to school, I heeded his advice. So I went back to class 8. I repeated and by God's grace, after the repeat of the CP exam, I managed to get 392 marks out of 500. So which was even much higher than the target I was given of 380. So in the process of, in my interactions with the teachers at the school where I repeated class 8, my deputy by then, who is deceased, and may God rest his soul in peace, connected me to one of his friends who linked me to a white woman who supported my academics at Msingu High School. So I joined Msingu High School in 2007. And in 2010, I completed my high school with an A-. And I really thank Canon Musyoka because it was of great support to me throughout the whole process of my high school. He used to encourage me to continue working hard and never look back, so that I can actually improve the standards of not just my home, but also the community around. So even I remember after my high school, when the results came out, when the results came out for KCSE, he made a small party for us. We were around like 5 people around the same locality, whom we shared common interests, both academically and spiritually. Pastor Musioka encouraged us even to go much higher, and even when you go to to university, to even put in working hard. So with an A-, I qualified to join university. I was called to pursue a Bachelor of Microbiology and Biotechnology at University of Nairobi. But because for the 2 years I was at home before I joined the university, I used to teach mathematics more than biology, though all the 2 subjects were my favorites when I was still a student at high school level. I opted to change the course from microbiology to mathematics. So I did the program for the 4 years from 2012 to 2016. And by God's grace, I got a first class in mathematics in my class, and I was a best student. So I was given a scholarship by the university to pursue my master's. So from 2016 to 2018, I did my master's at University of Nairobi. And Pastor Msioka has always been very supportive. All my 2 graduations, both undergraduate and master's, even made an effort of even going beyond what any other normal person could. Even all my graduations he used his money even just to come from home and actually come to celebrate and share my success story. So I really appreciate so much. So after my master's, the University of Nairobi doesn't have a direct sponsorship of PhD. So I've been doing some part-time teaching jobs here and there. And in 2021, I enrolled for my PhD at the same institution. And I got as supervisor. You see, when you are doing when you are doing PhD research, there are people we call supervisors, like just simply they are your teachers who the lecturers who guides you on the whole research process. So one of them is actually in Canada. So he's the one who invited me for a short visit to come to Canada and see how I can further my research with a close eye contact with him, so that I can get enough time with him for me to do better in my research. So currently I'm in Canada. I came in October, but I'll be going back to Kenya on 31st. That will be Sunday next week. And to cut the long story short, my story is a little bit, my success story. I don't even call it my success story, because probably this is actually God's plan. It's not even for me to go from primary to high school to undergraduate, master's, and up to now I'm finalizing my PhD. It's just by God's grace and God's love. Because what maybe I didn't tell you is that all my 2 parents, none of them know how to read and write. But they were very keen to support me to pursue my academics. So all my 2 degrees, the undergraduate degree and my master's degree, are never mine. So I took my undergraduate degree to be my mom's degree, because she's the one who really pushed hard for me to go up to those levels. Then my master's degree is actually my dad's degree. So my only degree, so the only degree that I'm going to get probably will be my PhD. That will be my degree. And to sum up the whole story, is that if you believe in God, all things will be possible. And my encouragement verse, or what really pushes me to even work even better, is actually Philippians chapter 4, verse 13. that gives tells us that with all things are possible if you believe in God who gives you strength. And also, what encourage my fellow youths and colleagues is that, as in Isaiah chapter 1, verse 19, where it tells us that if you are willing and obedient, you shall eat good things of the land. As a youth, you need to remain obedient and try to follow what your elders are telling you to do. Avoid bad companies and try to remain focused on what you are doing. And especially if, for example, assuming that some youth in this congregation, you have just done your Form 4 and you are going to campus, say maybe next year, or maybe you are in 1 or 2 years' time, you'll be going to campus. Please ensure that you keep the same faith that you have now. Don't go there and start now being influenced by bad companies. Try as much as possible to remain faithful to God's word. Get guidance from your pastors, your parents, and get good friends who actually shares the same values as the values you have when you are still a youth now and you're dedicating your time to pursue your dreams and also pursue God's understanding of the words being given by God. So try as much as possible, confine yourself in an environment whereby if you are not focused on what you are doing, as academic wise, try to surround yourself with people who can enable you to grow spiritually, because it's only through God's faith and through reading the Bible once every time that will actually get the strength even to do things that maybe you can't do, you may not manage to do on your own. So I encourage everyone to always never give up. Because, for instance, if I had given up because my parents were not able to raise my high school high school fee, I wouldn't be where I am. And another thing that I would also like to encourage you is that try to get someone who can nurture you, both spiritually and the wholesome growth. And if you are in contact with the Canon Psioka, you are among the luckiest people. Okay, sorry to say this, but it's a reality. And actually, maybe Canon, you have already been told this one, that at our church at Mashere ABC, we still have a big gap. You left a very big void. There's a very big vacuum that you left there. Actually, some people are actually running and going to other churches because the way you used to interact with people was not just preaching on Sunday and then minding your own business. You had that culture of actually going beyond just doing the normal preaching on Sunday, but also trying to see what your people are doing, what are they doing in their daily lives. If there's some issues that people have, they can actually share with you, because you are able to interact with people and actually encourage them and actually do things as the way they should do. So if you have such kind of people, you'll actually grow as a very fully packaged human youth, because whenever you have problems with your spirituality, whenever you have problems, even other problems away from a spiritual world, he will be there to encourage you and directs you on what you're supposed to do. So remain focused, and as per the aspect on what you can pursue in your academics, try as much as possible not to be influenced by what others do and putting money as the main target. That you may not achieve more, because you need to do what interests you and get a motivation in what you are doing. All other things will follow. For example, if you pick a course, if you are going to college, pick a course and pick a course that actually interests you, because you are the one who is going to do the course and is what's going to lay foundation of what you are going to do the rest of your life. Don't do something because someone imposed to you, because your friends, your teachers, or your parents are forcing you to do this course X. Do a course that also motivates you, so that by the end of your program, you can actually have that intrinsic motivation that you really have made it. So if you do a course that really doesn't impress you, even if you get a first class, you will not actually be proud of what you have gotten. But if you pass in a course that you really, you were actually motivated to do by yourself, then you'll actually enjoy being an expert in the field that you are pursuing. So with all those many remarks, thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my story with you. But I also still be available to come and share more when I come back to Kenya physically, so that we can actually learn one or two things from each other. Thank you so much.
Mimi personally niligusa nikaipata sio mimi peke yangu, na wanaleta hapa kama mtu mmoja anagusa, na we will appreciate if we see you physically if you come back today. I don't know if there's somebody who has a question to Vincent, the one to Vincent before we close. Yeyote ana maswali? Okay, I think because of our response that you are satisfied with the testimony and it was out. So Vincent, we appreciate so much. You are mind, but you are the son, and nazidi kuombea na nazidi kutuombea.
Sawa sawa, pia nyinyi mtuombee.
Ya, ili pia sisi tufaulu kama hii, tuone tukienda mbele. Kwa sababu maisha iko mikononi mwa Mwenyezi Mungu. Asante sana, mbarikiwe. Mike, thank you so much for this time. Barikiwa pia, na I wish you the best. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Asanteni sana.
Good to see you.
Merry Christmas.